We are Social Blade.
That there is approximately somewhere between 5 and 7 steps to protect your Facebook privacy.
There is, but first you need to know what's going on with your privacy. So as we've known and been made aware of through various articles about Facebook and their love for changing their privacy policies and not afraid of the risks. However, more importantly, unlike the government, Facebookers don't seem to say too much about it. The question is, do we just not care, or are we uninformed? How would you feel if you went to a third-party site that you had never been to before, and you saw your friends, your status updates, and your personal data posted? Most likely you're going to first think that you've been hacked or possibly phished. You're not going to think Facebook, are you? With that said, this might change your mind. Ever since December of last year, Facebook implemented an everyone default setting. You know, the one that's located under your status updates on your profile and on your newsfeed? Most might think that everyone might have meant all of your friends, fans, or possibly all of Facebook. But would you have thought that the everyone setting was for the entire internet?
I did.
Well,
I
it
knew.
is. You did know that? Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Well, I didn't know that either, and I'm learning this out now too. So, very interesting how they did that, because they've actually doing this, JD, since June of 2009, yet it was buried really deeply inside Facebook. But through questionings, like I said, articles and governments, the questioning of whether they're infringing on our human rights, Facebook instead, no pun intended here, but they put it right in front of our faces without really informing us, or rather asking for our consent. So to keep track, since June, they have been giving our information without publicizing it, and then publicly defaulting our settings to allow search engines and third-party sites privy to our privacy. Even if you feel you gave consent, I mean, do we really feel like we were informed? Most might say no. With that negativity said, you still have the ability to go and change those settings by clicking the drop-down and choosing the setting you'd prefer. But with the new API graph, which we actually reported on a few weeks ago, and just to kind of bring you up to date if you weren't here, it's similar to Facebook Connect, but will allow you to connect with websites that will direct their information to your newsfeed, which is kind of cool. But this new feature will allow third-party sites to have your information as soon as you visit them, whether you decide to opt in or not. Facebook will share your general information, such as photos, gender, social graph, and possibly more. Even if you change your everyone settings now, all the information prior to your new change will still allow other sites that are not Facebook to have that access. This could be an opportunity to get even more social, or it could be a Facebook fail. Either way, they are running the risk, again, of bad press and backlash. The important thing here is your privacy important to you? Now, I'm going to list you the 6, as JD had previously stated, the 6 steps. They're really quick, they're easy, and pretty simple, and most of you might be aware of them already. However, I'm going to list them. I'm going to state I don't necessarily agree with all of them, but I'm going to tell you what you can do to protect yourself if you feel as though you have been misled in what Facebook has shared or not shared with you in regard to your privacy. So, number 1, change your password to a more difficult one. Mix it up with numbers and letters. Remove your middle name or your maiden name if you added it in when you registered to Facebook. Number 2, check to see if you are still a part of a network. Now, although Facebook did get rid of it as a requirement, that doesn't mean it would necessarily went away. So if you aren't aware of what network you did register as, or if you'd like to know which one you might want to be added to, or just get rid of it altogether, just go up to your settings and change it, or you can keep it the same. Just make sure you're happy with it. You might also want to really get private and unlink your Facebook to Twitter, MySpace, and even your blog. Number 3, check your privacy settings under your account. Make sure that you are comfortable with how it is set up. Number 4, if you have your mobile device connected, be aware that this could open you up to spam, texting, and others having access to your number. Number 5, be sure not to add friends you don't know, since hackers can use this to their benefit. If you have been doing this and want to undo it, go go to accounts and edit friends list. And finally, number 6, be wary of Facebook applications and quizzes, for the innocent information and access that you think you are providing could have a hacker figure you out quickly. This includes even when you comment on a friend's post of a quiz they took. Okay, so all this talk about privacy, it can't help but lead us to wonder, are we going to fear the internet forever or embrace the opportunity to get social? Isn't that the point? We're supposed to get a smaller world here and communicate more with ease. And really, it's truly the beauty of social media. Or has a line been crossed? The real question is, JD, can we ever truly be private when we're online?
Can you guys see this guy right here? Here, move in. Move the camera. I want you to tell them what happened today. What do you mean? Text message?
Yeah, I got a text message.
Huh?
He needs to get closer to the mic, JD. We can't hear him.
Yes. Speak into the mic. Tell them what happened.
I got a text message from somebody I didn't know, and it told me to check out their Facebook account or something.
And it wasn't until I'm listening to this now that I realized, my gosh, my son has it. Because, I mean, she said she called him by his last name, sends him a text message, and which email address to find her.
Sorry.
So you have your cell phone number attached to your Facebook, I assume. When did you make a Facebook page? We're going to talk about this later, young man. Take this beautiful downstairs. You just got busted. You just got busted.
I didn't
I'm in the middle of the show. Go. Take him.
We'll discipline
that
the Facebook user later.
That is a live representation of what can happen when you don't take privacy. I'm trying to figure out how in the world did this girl get my son's cell phone number and text him Facebook information, right? This is it. You know what? I am so done with it's MySpace all day. I'm going back to MySpace. Give me the link.
I mean,
first, I'm going to go take a picture right now of stuff.
You know, JD, you make an interesting point, and actually, this problem actually exists with a few other networks, especially Foursquare and Google Voice. Like, even if you don't technically share or give someone your phone number, if you like friend them, they can access your number if you haven't already taken the option to hide your number. So this happens among some other networks as well.
Sorry for bringing my children to the show.
No, but I mean, that's a good point. Children, they have cell phones, and they're not going to be like, oh, scary people of the world. They're, especially at the teenage years, it's all about them. So they're going to be putting in this information, and just like your son, they're going to receive information from strangers who are going to act as though they know them because they've got their information off of Facebook. So, I mean, that was a really good point that you brought up there in regards to your son, JD.
Well, I didn't. You brought it up. I had to mute. You know, when I heard you say that, it's like kind of two and two came together. I had to mute my my audio for a second and say, "Get your butt up here!"
Invading the internet, covering Web 2.0, coast to coast, worldwide, and everywhere in between. This is where you put the social in social media. We are Social Blade.